To the right. Ladies, to the right. To the right.
Well, that was the end of today's demonstration. Next week, they say they're going to go to one of Nevada's legalized houses of prostitution. There to join with members of the women's rights organization to protest against what they call the enslavement of women. Bill Ward, ABC News, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Diverse son can be enriching and cruel, reaching a full 98 and got the kids in the pool. Isn't it cool how it spreads joy? Huns lay in it, and it's hard to go back to work when your lunch break's finished. Diverse son can be enriching and cruel, reaching a full 98 and got the kids in the pool. Isn't it cool how it spreads joy? Huns lay in it, and it's hard to go back to work when your lunch break's finished. Diverse son can be enriching and cruel, reaching a full 98 and got the kids in the pool. Isn't it cool how it spreads joy? Huns lay in it, and it's hard to go back to work when your lunch break's finished. Diverse son can be enriching and cruel, reaching a full 98 and got the kids in the pool.
Close that store! Close that store! Close that store!
We're not trying to push.
Okay, here it comes. Stop rolling.
That's all.
Recipients is not getting the minimum amount to live on. We are not getting this, and we can be getting this. The money is in the government.
I believe that we asked for what we were entitled to, and our needs have not been met. We are here because our children are cold. We are here because the system, the welfare department sees that the need of the people and won't do anything. The only way we can get it is get out here in the street, get beaten, thrown in jail, and we'll do it 365 days a year if that be necessary to get what our children need.
Ma'am, do you believe in this protest? And if so, why?
Yes, I believe in this protest because I believe that the people of Milwaukee are not getting back their fair share in taxes. Milwaukee gets back 1/3 of all the taxes it puts in. I say that the other two-thirds can be dived into to meet the cost of the welfare on this, and I refuse the used clothing because I see this used clothing as a means of double taxation used in this state. People have put money in for the welfare already, and this money is not being used for the welfare. This is why I am protesting.
Tell him what you want.
Was this protest isn't today it will not solve a problem, but it will raise an issue and show a need, because the time has come for, in order to make a good living, even middle class and working poor has to cheat on income tax in order to survive, and it isn't right. And we are striving for adequate income. And what county did last Monday, they elected in their duties and shifted a responsibility onto citizens by giving second-hand clothes. And second, welfare as institution isn't meant to be charity, but it is a right for each citizen to get what's it's by a law it's right to get.
Ma'am, why do you believe in this protest?
Adequate clothes for my children. I want the dignity of buying clothes for my children, and I don't want my children secondhand clothes to become a way of life for them, because I think in this country it's not right. It's enough clothing here for everyone, and enough dignity also.
Okay, anyone else?
I want to say Spanish and chicken.
Well, I want one statement from somebody, and I want it to be clear.
In this protest, I believe in this protest. This is the first time I've been in these riots, but it seems that it's our rights to protest because our children are needed, and it's about time they give us some help, because I cannot live on where we are living, and I believe that the rights of we are fighting, it's for the rights of the benefit of the city. We're not trying to overthrow the city or anything, but these things have happened on account of, violence. They don't want to hear us, and I think it's our right to fight, and we're fighting only for the rights of our children. The children, it's the profit of the nation. Sooner or later, we have to send our children. If a war is coming, we have to give our children, we have to fight for our country. And asking is that we don't only need used clothes, we need furniture, we need things for the house. That's what being asking for money, because we need blankets, sheets, curtains to cover the windows. Some of the people don't even have a bed. That's what we're fighting for. And if the city wants to help, it's about time they help, because there's a humus organization that belongs to the government, which we were brought here because we were working in factories. We were enslaving ourselves day and night for the benefit of our children. That's why we come to Wisconsin, because this is a rich place, rich industry. But we're not trying to steal from people, like they wrote in the newspaper that a lot of people steal a lot of clothes from that Boston. That's not true. The only thing is that we wanted to be hard, and all the doors had been shut to us. We're trying to work, but we don't have work. We had to raise our children and send them to school. The Humus organization is being helping. It's a government organization from where I was brought. But seems that the city of Milwaukee haven't make their own corporation, and it's about time that the commissioner or the city county or somebody do something about it, because a lot of people don't have beds to sleep. The Humus organization is being gathering it from people who've been donating it. If the city wants to help, we don't need only clothes, we need furniture, blankets, sheets, things for the house, and a lot of clothes for the children. There's been some clothes we wash in there. We cannot use it.
Because I'm marching because I believe, because my children's got it right, and right here, and because it's my children's, they need it closer now, and not only my children, many children Spanish speaking. I'm talking of Spanish children. They are over there on the fields, and I think you know it, but you refuse it to see it. And I'm upset because my children and all the Spanish speaking, what you eating and the breakfast, everything you eat in the breakfast are become by Spanish speaking, and I'm believing this. I'm here because of my children, y que viva nuestra raza. That's what I say.
I believe in this Oh. I not only believe in this protest being right, I know it's right. Welfare Department do not give adequate clothing for the needy. All you have to do is walk through the ghettos to see this. And you'll see all the things that are needed. These mothers are right, and everybody know they're right, whether they say we were wrong or not. We know we are right. We're ready to die for knowing we are right. Animals even fight for their youngs. We are human. Why can't we?
Go around shuffling, not taking cognizance of what's happening in the world around us. So we're going to lay down our shuffling shoes down by this city's door. We're going to lay down our shuffling shoes down by the businessman's door in the city today. There's a song that goes to the tune of Down by the Riverside. I'd like you to help me with it. No more.
Short. Leave.
Everybody line up over here.
You just need to get out that light.
Keys. Close the store. Sure. Close it up. Yep. We just I can't hear it now. Can't do anything. Are you really supposed to the real stuff? I do everything I can. All right. Hey.
What is your badge number, officer? On the law, you have to tell me your badge number. Can I have your badge number? Okay, this is my job.
Oh, they got him playing like Gestapo, man.
I just want to let him know. Nobody's staying here.
You're going this 5 minutes.
Give me no bills.
There you are.
Come.
Tomorrow is September the 1st.
What is the last time you had any contact with her?
It's been about 3 months.
About 3 months.
All right, there you go. You put your name here and your current address here. And I will be getting out food stamp by.
Okay, this is the property and income form. I need for you to fill this out.
Brought me in. It says Lucy and Dixon works for me 4 days a week.
I'm not sure when up.
As far as you know, it'll still be.
Now for this just claim all the possession.
This welfare bill is expected to total about $6.4 billion. Joe Templeton, ABC News at a welfare center in Los Angeles.
This is Bill Matney in Charleston, West Virginia. The state administers the public welfare system here and has set the maximum payment for a family of 5 or more at $254 a month. Mrs. Beatrice Andrews is on public assistance, aid to dependent the assistance that you receive and how you manage on it and so forth to make ends meet.
And I have said when we went before the convention platform committee, when they asked if we were going to disrupt the Democratic convention, what I said to them was that if they did not allow poor people to be represented, if they did not adopt an adequate income platform, if they did not adopt a platform that committed themselves to fair housing and adequate housing and an end to the war in Vietnam and decent child care, if they did not commit themselves to a program of openness and involvement of poor people and of dealing with the problems of poor people, then that Democratic convention would disrupt itself.
Come back at night to a general session. I know it seems like a lot of work to you, but that is the purpose of being here. You know, if we don't get our thing together, our running for delegates to the Democratic convention will mean nothing. We will not be able to go in and say to the press today, it's about time for us to let the rednecks know that the poor people are standing up and taking what belongs to them. Reverend Alfonso C. Mazel, who will give the invocation.
May we stand for the invocation, please?
Is that any kind of watchdog over interview delegates that are here. But I do feel that you did come here to get something out of this conference. The sessions will be monitored, and each evening. The reason that is taking place is because if we don't tighten up on our own people, then we are not going to get that 6,500 that you're constantly. Now, after each session at night,
come this long distance to be with us in Miami at this occasion of our 6th year of organizing and building a movement of poor people in this country. And we are at a time in our history when poor people are under attack as they have never been under attack before. We have Richard Milhouse Nixon in the White House trying to put an anti-welfare law the so-called family assistance plan, the cut grants and reduce rights and force mothers out to work. We have Ronald Reagan and Nelson Rockefeller, governors who are trying to put mothers to work and cut welfare and restrict the payments for people. Those men are Republicans. But I like to point out that it is in the Democratic Party itself that we have the Russell Longs and the Wilbur Millses. And indeed, it is in the Democratic Party that the Abraham Ribicoffs, our supposed friends, are selling us out to the Nixons of this country. We come together at a time of unprecedented repression against poor people, at a time when people are having their grants cut and their checks restricted and their rights undermined. But we come together at a time when we have opportunities for organizing and for building our strength as never before. We come together tonight, and I would like to recognize a brother and a sister who have fought with us on a couple of occasions, and then to talk about the coalition that is developing here in Miami Beach that I hope is going to be an ongoing process of building and organizing arms with the National Tenants Organization, our sister organization, and with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, with whom we have struggled for many years together, to build a three-organization united front to make and to project a poor people's platform before this Democratic convention here in Miami Beach. We will be hearing from representatives of those organizations, those other organizations tonight. But I would like to say that already we have scored some successes in our struggle around this Democratic convention. And our struggles began as 1972 opened, when welfare rights said we were going to turn around the repression that was happening to poor people by organizing the Children's March for Survival in Washington, and where we brought more than 50,000 poor people to Washington to show that Nixon doesn't care about poor children and to expose the fraud of his programs. We have been organizing in the primaries in Wisconsin, in Nebraska, and in California. And in those states, we have begun our grassroots program of organizing for political power by working to first confront Hubert Horatio Humphrey, who used to be the friend of poor people and who has turned on us, and his out-Wallacing Wallace in his anti-welfare statements. And we began by bringing busloads of poor people to follow Hubert Humphrey on his campaign trail to expose the fact that he was not a friend of poor people anymore. And we went into Nebraska and California on an even more sophisticated basis. Our California welfare rights organizations. And we campaigned in Sacramento and Oakland and in San Francisco and in the Watts sections of Los Angeles. And in that campaign, where Hubert Humphrey was supposed to have carried more than 80% of the black vote, we turned the majority of that vote away from Humphrey and into the McGovern column in that campaign. And I want to stand here tonight and say to the Richard Nixons, to the Hubert Humphreys, to the George Wallaces, and indeed even to the George McGoverns of this country, that they have so far only seen the tip of that iceberg that is organized poor people in motion. They have only seen the beginning of our work to organize a struggle politically in these campaigns. For if our work in this conference and if our work at the Democratic Convention is to have meaning, the meaning of that work will be what we learn about organizing and struggle, what we learn in the commitment and dedication and skill that we gather for going back to our communities and seeing to it that every anti-welfare politician is struck from political office come November. We have come to learn some of the new handles and techniques for involving more people. The fact that there is an early screening and diagnosis program of health care available for children program and a platform. A program that talks about opening the Democratic Party at all levels to poor people. And the fact that fully 1/4 of this nation is below the $6,500 adequate income level. That 1/4 of that Democratic Convention must be representatives of poor people. Representatives of our organization went to Convention Hall to claim those 750 seats today to which we are entitled. And we will go back tomorrow to negotiate for seating of 750 poor people on the floor of that convention. We will negotiate for that, and if we don't get it, we're going to take it. But finally, that the ultimate disruption that we will do to the Democrats.
Politicians of this city is here. I'm quite Chuck Hall. I was going to pin the button on him, but he so happens it on anyway.
All right. I'm always watching for these booby traps, you know. I've lasted a long, long time. My gracious, I thought, Brother Wiley, you were about 8 foot tall there for a while. I don't think they'll go up anymore. Well, I won't fight it. Dr. Abernathy, it was a good day. It was a good day today. Dr. Abernathy came before this council of mine, this man of great distinction, and he impressed them as he's impressed millions of people all over the world, because from inside of him, from his spirit and his soul, came out a truth and a goodness which was quite evident. Wouldn't you agree this is one of the greatest men there ever was here, Dr. Abernathy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here as kind of a new mayor. I've only been mayor since last November, not too long. But there are some who might remember that I was mayor of the 27 cities and commissioner for about 14 years. You know, there shouldn't be, or there shouldn't have to be, a slogan like this: reference poor people. Because in this greatest country of the world, there shouldn't be any poor people whatsoever. There's no reason for it. I was watching a television strip, you know, the other day of the Vietnam War. And somebody made a mistake and wiped out a lot of children and people. And they said, isn't that a shame because we hit our own people? Well, I thought, isn't it a shame when we hit any people? Just think, not just our own people. But do you know that the bombs from that one mistake would have paid for all of you in here for 1 month in your food? Do you know that? Much less do that harm. Do you understand that? Much less do the harm. These are the things that I can't quite understand. We have come to 1972 in the greatest country in the world and the wisest people in the world, and sometimes we're acting like children. I don't understand it. Bad children, too, by the way. And we do these things that I know God doesn't want us to do, and it's going to be changed. Dr. Abernathy has been such a great leader. When he stood up and took over from that great hero, Martin Luther King, who gave his life for this country, this man stood up and took over. And what a worthy representative he has been. Well, he's here tonight on this platform, and I'm honored to be here with you. I'm a very little man when it comes to a national figure like this. I recognize this. But you're in my town, and I had to come here tonight. What did I miss? Did I miss something? You don't have to take my town. I must have missed some of the dialogue. Well, I took it over last November. I tell you, you're in my town. And while you're here, I'm your mayor, and it's your town. I want you to know that right now. I want you to know that. Well, you know, there's a lot of poverty in this rich town of ours. Have you been around in certain areas? A lot of poverty, and you have two extremes. You have very wealthy or nothing, and it's too bad. And I don't like to see that. I think every person here believes in one thing. I'm sure you'd agree with me. I know that Dr. Abernathy does. Everyone should earn their way in life, and this is the way it should be. Nobody in this room I know wants any freeloading, but just want an opportunity to get out of the rut of being poor for all your lives. That's all you want. It's an opportunity.
He has said that we consider the Nixon administration to be anti-young, to be anti-poor, and to be anti-black. And we are part of the Dump Nixon movement. So, what is the Democratic plan? We have a slogan that says, it's not the rap, but it's the map. We want to know from the Democrats next week, what is the map? It is not just enough to come out and say that you are against the wall. It's not just enough to come out and say that you are in favor of welfare reform. It's not just enough to come out and say that you believe in decent medical care and dental care programs. We want to know, what is your plan? We've been hearing Senator Humphrey. Are they talking about Lockheed? Are they talking about Governor Ronald Reagan, who paid no income taxes? What do they mean when they talk about welfare mess? I did my homework on it, and I gathered my statistics the other day. And I discovered that 51% of the people who are on welfare are children less than age 16 years of age, where they are required by law to go to school. They cannot work. Do you mean to tell me we're not going to care for them? The next largest number were welfare mothers who must care for children less than 4 years of age. And the next largest number of individuals on welfare. And it finally boiled down to less than 1% of the people on welfare are able-bodied Americans who could work. But they roam the streets all day long looking for a job that does not exist. And what does Mr. Nixon do to help the economy out? He comes up and he freezes the wages of poor working folk. Why doesn't he freeze the dividends of the bankers? Why doesn't he freeze the interest rates of the wealthy? But instead he freezes the wages of poor working folk. If you're poor and if you're only making 100, on some issues before I endorse him, and if we cannot find the answers next week here in the Democratic Party, then we got to go out and start a third party, and if necessary, a fourth party. No longer can we say to our people, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. We got to give them a choice this year as never before. Now let me tell you this, and I'm going on to my seat because my time is out. But we didn't come down here to fight among ourselves. And we didn't come down here to smoke in the pop. What is that y'all smoke?
They call it pot.
Oh, thank you. And let me tell you something now, baby. We're going to fight an evil system.
Emergency announcement. And if you gentlemen were waiting, you're to call back operator 6.
Of all days, you took the day to be late.
Late?
Yeah.
It ain't never late.
You is late. You changed your route.
If I mess around here and push this route on you, then I will be late.
Come on in here.
Yeah, you can just talk. Yeah.
What you grinning for, girl? Look at her. She love to take pictures.
Like your picture taken?
Look at her. What? What you want? Come on back over here now.
You get another picture. What's your name?
Hey, 11, 50.
Yes.